Um, the games will be starting here soon. It was supposed to start at 8:30, but they pushed it up, so we are here now. And it looks like they did start. It is an immediate Wukong ban from TTM. Over to Aloe and Caitlyn. That's an interesting one. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up the stream on my phone here. Boom. All right, and it's a Zed ban over towards, I'm assuming, Scoobs. Oh. All right. There we go. It will be the J4 ban against, I think for TTM, is it? I'm not sure who the jungler for TTM is. I think it might be Sleep. No, it's Austin. Okay, Austin. Okay, so it's a Jarvan ban over against Austin. Ziggs ban coming out against Scoobs and Reese. They both really favor that champion, so that's not a surprising ban in the least. And then Mundo over against Sleep. And Sleep is Bailey, I believe. Yeah, I think he just changed his name. So pretty standard draft coming out. The Caitlyn ban's interesting. The Zed ban's pretty interesting as well. The Thresh does come out for Sulf. Haven't been seeing a lot of Threshes outside of Vermilion in the league, so surprised to see that. But they did decide to prioritize it, so taking it away from Verm maybe. And the Zillion ban comes out against Kate. No, Kate's their ADC, so Nunya. That'd be a Zillion ban against... Oh, that's not a ban, that's a pickup. So it is Zillion being picked up for the side of GGG. I would assume that's on Verm. And Ashe being picked up by Reese. Interesting bot lane duo there. Pretty passive. Not going to be looking to make a lot of fights unless GGG opt into picking up a pretty aggressive jungler for the early game. And Ashe's volley did get nerfed recently. They added 2 seconds at lower ranks, so her harass isn't as bad going into the early game. And Gray's being picked up by Austin. Pretty standard champ for him. He enjoys playing it, and we've seen a lot of him on it. And then I'm actually kind of surprised about the Zed ban. Maybe Scoobs has been playing it, but you don't really know for sure. And MF being picked up by Cade, so we got the Thresh and MF in the bot lane versus the Ashe and the Zillion. I would expect GGG to probably pull out their jungler in this next phase, and then leave the counter pick for the mid or top. Would be my guess. Nope, they are just opting into the Lilia. I would assume that is Aloe on the Lilia in the top lane. He had quite a bit of success with it last week. He played one game with it in the second game of the series, and he did pretty well. So GGG banning Azir. I guess both these mid laners play it. Nunya plays it, Scoops plays it, so GG just opting out of taking it out of the game. We got the Tom Kench coming out against Aloe as well. But I don't see the point in banning Tom Kench. I'm pretty sure it's a Lilia top lane for Aloe. I can't. I don't know if Trooper plays Lilia, but she's not. Oh wait, no. This previous patch did come out. So this most recent patch did come out. So Lilia's jungle actually got buffed, and her laning got nerfed slightly. So maybe they don't think it's gonna be Lily in the top lane. I think it's a Lily in the top lane. I'm just gonna go ahead and set this here. Oh wait, I got a thing on this. I can just do that. Aha, I'm a genius. There we go. And the Yoan ban coming out against Scoobs. So that will be Lily in the top lane. Trooper will be on Sejuani. I know he likes to play the champion. I can't really ever say I've seen him play it. So, but I know he likes to play it. And she's always been kind of a pretty viable tank in the jungler. Has good initiation, has good ganks, has good damage on her own, and really good clear. So I've always been a really big fan of Sejuani. And that would be Gragas. I would assume that's Gragas in the top lane for Sleepe. Actually, I'm gonna... Sorry, still kind of getting set up here. There we go. And I was right. It is Gragas in the mid lane. Is that full AP Gragas coming out for Nunya? So it does give the counter pick over the GGG and Scoobs, which is kind of the Cassio is up. Cassiopeia is up, but that would be quite a bit of AP, not a lot of AD damage. Going for Annie. Okay. Interesting. I think Cassiopeia would have been a fantastic pick here. Going into the Thresh, going into Graves, going into Gragas. Even Ornn has a mobility move, so I think Cassio was kind of overlooked here. I think it would have been a fantastic pick. But GGG opting into a lot of AP. It's going to be pretty easy for these two beefcakes in mid and top. I'm assuming that will be kind of a bruiser Gragas. But it's going to be pretty easy for these guys to itemize. Not a whole lot of sustained damage coming out of GGG either. You pretty much have Lily and Ashe for sustained damage. Everyone else is pretty bursty. So picking that into the tanky side of TTM is interesting. TTM opting in for more of a team fight oriented comp. You have the Misfortune, you have the Thresh, you have the Gragas, you have the Ornn. All pretty strong team fighters. But this is definitely an interesting draft. We see a Gragas mid. We see the Sejuani in the jungle. Wow, yeah, this is gonna be an interesting game. I think TTM definitely have the stronger team fighting if they can get to it. But GGG has a lot of disengage potential, and they have a lot of engage as well. So it's kind of whoever pulls the trigger first. If TTM can pull the trigger first and get their wombo combo off between the Ornn, the MF, and the Graves, then I think TTM can pull a win out. But GGG's draft is really interesting. Actually, that reminds me, I need to change the stream title. GGG's draft is really interesting, though. Not really opting into any particular team composition. They're kind of just all around the board. Let me go fix this. the title of the stream real quick. I believe it is week 9 now. TTAM versus GGG. All right. Yeah, but that's really interesting. I would assume that will be a full AP Gragas. Otherwise, their damage is pretty lackluster on the side of TTM. Ornn, for being a tank, does do quite a bit of damage, though. But I don't know what they're thinking picking the Ornn into Lilia. That's such a bad matchup for Ornn. And I don't know what GGG was thinking of picking Annie. Annie was probably the most interesting pick. You have the counter pick. You opt into Annie. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, especially knowing that Cassiopeia was up. I think that would have been an absolutely amazing pick. You're going into a melee matchup in Gragas. 4 out of the 5 champions on the side TTM have displacements. Thresh offers a displacement or a mobility, and you opt into not going Cassio. Like, I just don't get that. Like her Annie, yeah, does have like a game, like a team fight changing ultimate, but so does Cassio. Like, Cassio just dishes out so much more consistent DPS as well than Annie does. Annie is the original burst mage. Like, looking to one-shot you in 3 abilities sort of thing. And Cassio is more of the, I'm going to continuously dish out DPS. And I would have very much liked to seen that instead. Nope, that's Graves' jungle. I am looking at it right now. Austin is on the Graves in the jungle. Nanya on the Gragas. Yeah, Gragas doesn't see a terrible amount of jungling anymore. I think there's just other champions that do it so much better. He is pretty popular in the top lane. Not so much in the mid lane anymore, though. So I think TTM just trying to throw like a wrench into plans, like trying to just come out with something that GGG didn't think they were going to do. I forgot to feed the cat. We'll be right back. Alright, got back just in time here. But I was thinking about it while I was being the cat, and I do like the the sheer utility side of GGG. They're kind of... Oh, I just realized my League client is in Windows. Before I switch it over, I will change it back to full screen. I do like the utility style of GGG. They have the Lilia, they have the Sejuani, they have the Zilean to keep Reese alive. So I think they're putting a lot of baskets into Reese's... they're putting a lot of eggs into Reese's basket right now. Looking to him to carry this game. So... And TTM just kind of have to pull the trigger first. I think that's kind of their win condition is, if they don't pull the trigger first, they let GG pull the trigger, they just kind of lose this game. All right, let's switch over. All right, let's see what kind of start both these teams try to do here. It looks like TTM is going for an invade on the top side, but the side GGG is just doing a 5-point entry. I do think TTM have the stronger level 1, especially if... Oh, so it is Scoobs on the Sejuani. My bad. Let's actually switch that around. So it is Scoobs on Sejuani and Trooper in the mid lane. Decide just to switch it around. And they do that quite often. Trooper and Scoobs tend to switch sometimes if they decide for different matchups. Alright, let's get rid of that. We got everything in order here. We got to check the timers. We're good. So yeah, I think TTM have to pull the trigger in these team fights in order for them to win. And I think GGG have to play more defensively, more reactionary to the setups by TTM. I think this might be just a little too loud. Lower it a little bit. And again, that volley is on a significantly longer cooldown now, so Ashe's laning definitely got nerfed this patch. Not to say that she isn't a bad laner anymore, it's just she's less oppressive. And that was kind of the thing about Ashe, is that she could be so oppressive in lane but still be that utility ADC during the mid to late game fights, and that's what made her so strong. Cade not able to land any of these Q bounces for that massive damage. And the thing about the Ornn Lilia lane is that Ornn will pretty much only be able to CS with his Q. If he tries to step up for... ooh, nice bounce going on to Zilean there. That's what happens if you try to step up. And he does get tagged by the Seed Blossom, I think it's called. I think any top laner that has played this matchup can tell you that this is definitely a favorable side for Lilia. Nunya just trying to keep the wave shoved in, trying to not take so much harass, get some wards down. Nice damage coming out of sleep. He does get the knockup. Nicely done by Sleepe. Scoobs is here for a gank. Trooper does not have his full bar up, though. Slight bit of miscommunication coming out of GGG here. But they are choosing to go for it. Nice stun setup. The Bison does not go over the wall. He is going to have to flash. Scoob's going after him. This will be Trooper going for the kill. So 2 flashes blown aside GGG. I don't think Trooper had the flash there. I think Scoobs had that pretty much in the bag, but... Ooh, a nice little team fight going on in the bot lane here. Scoobs taking massive damage. It will be a TP coming out of Nunya as well. Exhaust. Ooh, Nunya doesn't land a Bison, but the empowered W plus Q will take down Scoobs. Nice flash hook coming out of Solf, and that will be Trooper going down as well. Nice return kills coming out of TTM. And nice rotations as well. Reese chose not to rotate for his team. Verm keeping the... they will get a turret plate here, though. It will be shared. Interesting we didn't see any of the top lane TPs come out either. If Aloe showed up, I feel like that fight could have went a little bit differently. And Aloe playing a little passive for this lane as well. I feel like he could be pressuring a lot more. Scoobs is here for the Genko. Sleepe does have flash, but he will just walk out. Nice Q to slow down Scoobs. Yeah, I think Aloe could be playing this lane a lot more aggressively. So Reese is opting into the early Berserker Greaves, which is a good look for Ashe. Gives the attack speed, gets the movement speed, able to continuously keep the enemy slowed with her passive. And by the way, this is brother against brother in the ADC role here. Cade is Reese's younger brother. So a little bit of sibling rivalry going on here, but Reese, ooh. That trade, I think, did go the way of Cade. And Cade does get clipped by the bombs. The second one does not land. Directed cameras all over the place here. And again, I'm just kind of surprised that Aloe is playing so far back. Ooh, Scoob's using his Q to disrupt the Gragas there instead of trying to go in. Gragas is level 6 though, he doesn't have much mana. Annie is there as well. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like everyone just decided to back out. Level 6 Annie is pretty scary. Yeah, Aloe not taking these Qs to damage the Ornn out of lane here. Nice W from Nunya to get that damage reduction. Yeah. And Lily did opt into the going back and buying the flask, which I think was a good buy. But since she has these flash charges, she should be stepping up and being really aggressive, zoning Sleepe out of lane. It looks like Austin is going for the dragon sneak here. He will not be spotted, and it looks like it will go down to him. Nicely done by Austin to time the bot lane's back timers with sneaking the dragon there. Sleepe has no mana. Aloe could be aggressive here, and he is going to do it. Good damage coming out. Aloe should be able to get the kill here if he plays this right. And oh, nicely done by Scoobs. It looks like the top side of the map here will be going for the Rift Herald. Ooh, the Predator Gragas. He does not knock him back fully enough, though. Ooh, and Trooper getting the return kill. Flashes out of the Graves ult. Nicely done. Very nicely done by Trooper there to just automatically stun the... to stun the Graves under the turret. Reese's trademark phrase, ulting for poke. The Ash arrow went down up the river and hit the Gragas in the mid lane. I think Aloe's starting to realize that he can definitely zone these people out, but he is missing CS at the turret. Excuse me. Nice sidestep coming out of Reese to dodge that thresh hook. And Reese just barely tickling Sulf. Oh no. Nicely done by Aloe to preemptively flash that. It looks like a fight is going down. Scoobs does get the stun onto Sleepe, but the Nunya teleport comes out. Scoobs uses his ult defensively just to walk out. Nicely done by the side GGG. It was a good fight setup until the TP went out, so good of them to realize that they lose that fight as soon as the TP started. Man, landing these bombs on the Cade like he's handing out candy. So the gold lead is in the side of GGG, not by much. Game's still pretty even going into the 12-minute mark here. But that did just escalate to about a K based on the turret plating. Ooh, and the Ash ult does come out. Nicely done. Verm is here to return the gank. Ooh, not enough damage though. Austin maybe looking for a kill here. Oh, the Tibbers does teleport though. Pushes him off. Yeah, this Gragas, even though he is going AP, is pretty tanky when he gets his W off. That's something that you got to be aware of before you blow your full combo. Ooh, nice bounce coming out of Cade to clip Reese there. And I would expect Reese to go into a Kraken Slayer this game. He might go for the shield bow, that as is pretty common for Ash, but with the beefcakes on the side of TTM, I would assume a Kraken Slayer. And Scoob's opting in for the plated steel guards. Oh, played the wrong way, but nice try. It looks like Verm is gonna have to ult. Scoobs is here, and they do see Nunya. Nice stun. Ooh, the chain CC takes down Nunya. Walks right past the red ward. Scoobs tanking the world on his back right now, waiting for his team to get here. Trooper is here. Sulf Zonia's the Tibbers, but he still will go down anyway. Nicely done by GGG. Good rotations. Good waiting on Nunya to walk into a point where he won't be able to blast going out before he gets chain CC'd. Just nicely done on the side of GGG all around. And wow, Cade stepping up a little far here. Ooh, almost takes down Reese in a return kill, but isn't able to get it. And that will be an Infernal Dragon going over to the side GGG. The gold lead now at about 2.3k deficit. And Aloe going really aggressive on the Sleep A here. Uses his ult defensively just so he can get out. I think he probably could have killed him. Lily is a really wily champion, or if he can't get his fully empowered W off, like his brittle passive off his W off, he doesn't do that much damage. GG clearing out some vision, looking for this scuttle over to the side of Aloe. Gold lead about 2.1k. And things looking really nice for side GGG right now. Sounds good, Crimson. I will invite you in at the start of the next game. Always happy to cast with you. And Trooper getting the jump onto Austin here. Doesn't have enough damage though. And wow, a lot of damage going down onto Reese. And GGG just trying to run this game. The offensive proto belt there just to get a little bit of poke damage to clear the wave. And that is a pickaxe with a Noon Quiver coming out of Reese, so I would assume that is the Kraken Slayer coming out. Ooh, Aloe going a little aggressive in the top lane here. And it looks like the 2v2 in the mid lane. Scoobs trying to take down Austin. He will go down. It will be Nunya going down as well. Nicely done by Scoobs and Trooper in the 2v2. Aloe looking for the kill. Does he have enough damage though? Oh, nicely done by Sleep A. But a return kill going down in the river here. Solf. He might just be able to turn around and just hit him. And nicely done on the side, GGG. Getting the 1 for 3. The double kill in the mid lane. And I think they killed actually 2 more. So I think that was a 1 for 4 actually. Lily dying in the top lane, but between that entire scuffle in the mid and bot river, 4 of the side of TTM went down. So nicely done by GGG to pull out with a win. Annie at 5-1 now. She's gonna be bursting people. Scoobs 4-1. He's gonna be that massive frontline tank that they desperately need. Wow, pretty hype game so far. Not the bloodiest game I've seen in Beer League. But there is quite a bit of skirmishes going on pretty consistently in this game. Inside GG, pinging the Rift Herald here. Looks like they're opting in, going for the second one before it times out. And they were looking to gang up on Trooper. Get that massive shutdown gold. But the wards are spotted. And nicely done by GG. If you look at their ward coverage right now, it is pretty extensive. They have 2 deep wards in their enemy's jungle. Sleep Egg going for another soul kill on Aloe here. Is he going to be able to get it? And it looks like Austin is here to help as well, but not able to catch up. Not able to lock down the Lilia. That's so hard to do. And no one is here so to help out Aloe, so this top lane turret will be going down. But on the side GGG, they're opting into doing the dragon. This will be a Mountain Soul as well. Wow, they are hands down going for this Lilia here, but she is so fast. Nice, well-timed late ult. And that will be Sleep Egg going down, I'm assuming. The burn should get him, and he does. Aloe looking for the 1v3. That Austin probably will go down here as well. Aloe going for the 1v3. Wow, and he will get it. Wow, nicely done. No assistance at all from the rest of GGG. Reese did shoot an arrow up there, but Reese will also take down a solo kill of his own. GGG pulling ahead in this game by 5K. Wow, that's actually insane coming out of Aloe. It was a huge mistake coming out of Sleepy as well. He was under the turret with no minions and was sleeped. I don't know, the sleepy time, whatever it's called. I don't know what the ability is called. Scoobs is here to back up Aloe. This probably will be Sleep Egg going down again. Nice dodge from Aloe. The TP comes out for Nunya. He is on point with these TPs this game. Oh, it doesn't have enough damage though. Trooper is here. And that will be Nunya going down again. And it looks like they are looking for the dive on the Sleep Egg. Ooh, the Lilia Sea Blossom does not land, but it does go down anyway. GGG all across the board with this game. Wow. And just like that, in a matter of 5 minutes, GGG completely take control of this game. Not that they haven't been already. But that is a massive gold differential now. 7.5K. At 20 minutes is pretty big. That's two completed items on the side GGG above TTM. And it kind of is on the people they need it to be on. Annie 7-1 is over 2,000 gold ahead of her laner. Reese almost 2,000 as well. Verum almost 1,000. Scoobs is almost 2,000 as well. And then Aloe is only about 500 up. So all across the board, there's massive gold differentials. This might just be game over for the side of TTM if they can't get these team fights that they want. And this will, that will be Cade going down. Annie sneaking into the bush to get her signature pop off. And that is so much burn coming out of Lilia there. Nunya proto belting out of the Zillion bomb. Doesn't want to take that minimal amount of poke. Austin looking to fight the Lilia here. Does have the red buff, but Lilia will use her ultimate. And that will be a pop onto Austin. It looks like, nope. She does leave him alive. Oh, the flash Q takes him out. Nice Zillion bombs to stun up the other side of TTM. And it looks like an all-out team fight going on in the topside jungle here. Aloe getting the double kill. Ashe taking down the Gragas. Cade using a defensive vault, but not able to pick up anything. Nicely done by GGG. And they are pushing their advantage to the limits here. Making plays all across the board. An aggressive flash coming out of Reese, knowing that Scoobs was there. Nicely done. And that this honestly just might be the game. I would expect them to take this next turret and then force the Baron. They do have the damage for this Baron as well. Ashe did go Kraken Slayer. They got the Lilia burn. They got the Sejuani E resets. But they are opting into just setting up for the Mountain Dragon. Taking it slow. Not going for more than they should. As I've always tell people, take the small victories. And that's how you gradually get further and further ahead. And death camping here right now. And it looks like Sulf will get into it. Nicely done. And Reese taking down his brother, making a statement. And another sick double bomb coming out of Verm. And the chain CD is too much for Nunya. He isn't able to get out. And GGG just pushing their advantage even more. 11k gold lead. Knocking Scoobs over. And GGG are looking phenomenal right now. That's probably one of the biggest gold leads we've seen at this point in the game in Beer League. So they are absolutely controlling this game. And they're only taking the fights that they set up is the nice thing. And Scoobs is pretty much everywhere he needs to be at all times. So all GGG are just playing outstandingly. And Lilia did finish up her second burn item. So with that and her passive, ooh, Austin taking a bunch of damage but isn't going down. The shield bow comes out and keeps him alive. Reese, the arrow hits Sulf, not his target. Oh, none yet, not enough damage. Almost had enough. And Reese will just chase these guys down. The best thing that Ashe is good at. Nicely done. And that will be Ashe going down to Austin with that shutdown gold. But I don't think it really matters. This game is probably just over. Ooh, Sleepe looking for it. Oh, he doesn't get the knockup. And Lilia is just so wily. Oh my god, is he not going to be able to get the kill? He is not. Sleepe is going down. Wow. And that's the problem with Lilia. She is so fast. Moves around so much. And honestly, Scoobs and Trooper have done their work. I would say they're hands down the reason this team is so far ahead right now. Was a couple of shutdowns going over to the side of TTM in that fight, or maybe just one on Reese. But if you look at the scoreboard right now, shutdowns across the board. Let's see, 1150, 1850, 2150, 2400 golden shutdowns across the board right now on the side of GGG. Not something you see very often. So if they do get one of these massive team fights, they can turn this game around. But it looks like GGG are not going to really let them, only fighting on their own conditions here. Nunya trying to get some burst damage down the back line, but isn't able to do it. Scoops continuing the chase here. He is so tanky. He is taking a couple more shots for Trooper. Isn't able to get much more out of it, though. Nicely done by GGG. And I honestly do not see a way for GGG to... Oh my god. Trooper going for the flash ulti. Not letting TTM recover in the slightest. And this will jump the cold lead by another 1.5k with the takeout of the Baron. And it will be a surrender coming out of TTM. Nicely done by GGG. I think that might be... Is that the first surrender I've seen? I think so. All in all, just a very nicely done, nicely played game on the side of GGG. Not really showing any weakness at any point in the game. And I'm going to hop in Discord here real quick because Crimson wants to join. I will be in the casting section, bud, whenever you want to join. And he is here. That was quick.
What's happening, Elias? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. That last game was kind of very one-sided.
Yeah, from what I watched, they snowballed it super well.
Yeah.
And then once they snowballed, they just kept their foot on the gas.
Mm-hmm. Taking fights that they set up for themselves, not letting TTM get the jump on them first. And credit goes over to Scoobs and Trooper for that one. Them getting that massive early game lead is what led to the snowball growing more and more gradually. So
yeah, that's the stuff I missed because I think I jumped in around 15 minutes when I realized.
Yeah,
I think matches tonight.
Yeah, I think Trooper and Scoobs were 4-1 respectively at that point. So yeah, they definitely put in some work.
Well,
all right.
We got a game 2 coming up, so TTM have a chance to clap back and at least come out with a draw in a 1-on-1 series.
Well, I love to see the 1-1s. Never want anything to be too one-sided, you know.
I mean, I just always like competitive games, the ones where it's
dude, exciting to watch.
And,
yeah,
anything can happen.
Dude, the last series I casted, it was who was it? It was STD versus AAR.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, that first game was probably was it STD? No, it was AAR versus shoot. I don't remember, but the first game of that series was probably the most exciting game I've ever casted. It was awesome to watch, and I love
a game where you had 50 kills 20 minutes in, or what?
Dude, it was so back and forth. It was so back and forth, and I love those kind of games. It reminds me of the series I subbed for you against STD. That
was the series where it was back and forth all the time.
Yeah, that first game was so back and forth all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the best ones to play. That or where you're down early on and somebody on your team wants to give up and you convince them to keep playing because of you scale later. You're like, oh, I think they're gonna get cocky and we can come from behind.
Yep.
And you do it. It's a really good feeling.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun subbing for you guys. I finally got to play my main role.
Oh, you're a top laner? I thought you were an AD carry.
No, I'm a top laner. I only AD carried so that I could build a team.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. Also, what you said earlier at the end of your call, I think that is the first ever surrender that I've seen.
I think it might be. I think that might be the first surrender.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I personally am not very happy with that.
Yeah. You don't
if the team wants to do it, they can
yeah.
I don't me personally. I think you kind of talked about it in your cast a little bit too, where you use those moments you understand you're going to lose the game. There's no doubt about it, right? But what you do is, okay, play the last team fight where you're okay, our goal is to kill X person, right? And you try to go and just see if you can get a positive out of it, even though you know you're going to lose the game.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not going to go and say that they can't do it. Me personally, I don't like it. But that's my opinion.
Well,
There's no right or wrong answer.
If anything, continue to play the game at that point. It's just kind of a learning experience. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can try your hardest to come back and bring it back from the grave, but in the back of your mind, you already know it's over.
In the back of your mind, you're checked out in terms of how much you care about that game because the game is over.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much longer, it's gonna take. And again, the gold lead, it was close to I think 12 or 13K.
It was.
When I checked
it was
just gotten Baron, so they were gonna recall and just end it anyway. So it would have only been probably 2 minutes more, but. I'm just not going to make a mountain out of a molehill. I just wanted to give my opinion on it.
No, I agree, especially when it comes to a competitive scene.
Yeah.
Even in LCS and stuff, it could be 25-3 with a 10K gold lead. They're still not going to surrender. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
again, like you said, it can be a learning opportunity where And sometimes like you can get mental wins too, where like say if like the opposing player has an AD carry that's like 20 no one hasn't died. It's kind of a little mental win if you can go and like kill them once before the game.
Yeah,
is
like
over, right?
at least try and ruin Reese's KDA or something. Like do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a very real thing too, especially if you're playing a series like we always do, where it's best of twos. If you can find a way to like, if they're going for like a, what in their mind it's like a perfect victory, and you put a little smudge on that victory,
That's a win in your
that can
book,
be
you
enough
know?
to just
Yeah.
unsettle them going
Yeah.
into game two, and that's a huge thing. Like if they get really upset about not having like a perfect game or something, that can snowball. Especially if you go and like early on in game two, find a way to like early kill them or first blood them, like that can snowball if someone doesn't have good control on their emotions.
Yep, it's true. We are in draft now, though. It looks like it will be a Jarvan, Caitlyn, and a Dr. Moonaband going out against TTM.
Where's the draft link?
It was in. Oh, it was in the lobby. Oh, I guess you weren't in the lobby. Here, I'll stream for you here.
Yeah, and then do you want to toss me an invite to the lobby, too? Because I think you can invite, can't you?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm on the client right now.
Oh my god. I got you.
Thanks. Oh, it's full. Well, someone will have to move when we get the chance. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you just want to watch the stream through Discord.
I prefer to be in, so that way I can go and look at other stuff.
Oh, that's fair.
The camera to do while I cast. But
Here, I'll just I'll shoot you this the draft law here. But yeah, going into it, we do have the Jarvan J4, the Jarvan, Caitlyn, and Dr. Moonaband against TTM pre-standard. Annie as a respect ban against Trooper, and Zillion as a respect ban against Vermilion. Nunya does get on his main in his year. Graves, Austin picking up the Graves again, and it looks like Cade is opting into the Ezreal. We got Thresh for Vermilion. That is his main champion. We got Vigar. I would assume that's Trooper Vigar, based on last week's performance. And then Shaco. Shaco is an interesting one. I don't think we've seen a Shaco yet.
we have. I played in a series where the opposing team, I think it was GGG maybe, or it might have been.
Oh, did you?
They definitely played a Shaco jungle.
Oh, did they? Okay. I would assume that's Scoops on the Shaco and Trooper in the mid lane. Another respect ban coming out of TTM towards Aloe in the Lilia.
Lilia makes it really hard for you to go and if you want to blind pick a tank in the top lane, because the Lilia, I mean, as you saw last series, even though the Ornn was winning like 1v1 trades, if you don't have sufficient lockdown for it, it's super hard to get her down, and she can just keep applying the the damage over time, and she does really good into doing like max health damage against tanks too, so she's really annoying.
Yeah, I think Aloe played that really well towards the end, but I think he was a little lax in the early game. I feel like in that particular matchup, you can really abuse the Ornn. So,
and again, like it's fine if like the rest of your team is winning on the map, and like that's something that I think some people need to go and realize when playing a team game, is that if your team is winning on the map, you don't need to go and like go ham. You just need to make sure you neutralize whatever your lane you're in, because the rest of your team is doing their job.
Yeah, and it will be the Ziggs ban coming out against Reese, another respect ban. The set.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like that'd be too much magic damage on GG.
Well, did you see their team last game?
No, I can't remember the draft. Actually, I have it up right here, I think, on top of my head. So they had Lilia, Annie, and Zillion.
And Sejuani.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So it looks like Reese will be picking up the Aphelios. The Aphelios Thresh is still a really strong combo. Solve picked up the Bard.
Yeah.
Which is Bard's a pretty strong combo going into like an Ezreal and Azir. So you can set up that Shurima Shuffle pretty easily. And Ezreal ult in the mid to late game does a lot of damage.
Bard ulting, holding everybody in place is perfect for the Azir. Like, well, they're all lined up in a row.
Yeah, and they kind of have that wombo with the Ezreal, Graves, and Azir. So if they can successfully pull that out, it's going to be a lot of damage to whoever they lock down.
AGG's going to go for the top lane, so they're going to blind the Wukong. Okay.
That is.
Because the Wukong is really their only real initiator besides Thresh.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't go for the TK. He was left up. And I guess like if Trooper is the mid lane, that would explain why the Cassio wasn't picked up last game, because I was like, Dude, Cassio's open. Like, just like, what are you doing,
Oh,
Cassio?
we got Rockman on the top. So TTM are going, I think, full wombo combo here.
They really are. Um, Easy setups with the Bard ult, with the Malphite ult into the stream and
There's
shuffle.
also a really good chance that the Bard ult can mess up their combos depending on their timing. So that's the kind of thing where, like, in comms, you have to really go and, like, the Bard has to, like, say when he's gonna ult. Like, if the Malphite ults first,
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Like, probably Malphite ult first to keep them in the Bard ult so you can get that guaranteed as your shuffle.
So, could you go into the lobby and tell someone to move so I can watch the actual game in the League client?
Let Chin in.
Just let me know when someone's moved.
Ah, he's in. They moved. There you go.
Awesome, thank you.
Move down. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I think the side of TTM have a really strong team fight. Like a really strong team fight. GGG. Interesting in the Shaco pick. Doesn't really fall into any sort of team composition. So, but outside that, they have a lot of pick potential. It started, then someone left.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think GG's team comp is a little interesting. I think they pick champions where they're like, this is kind of troll, but we're still playing to win. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Like, for me, I know a couple pro teams. I think one of the pro teams in Korea actually played Shaco jungle. And he actually is that Korea or Europe, but he showed how Shaco is actually really, really good at being able to really disrupt fights. If you know your opponents are going to fight around an objective, and you go and kind of put your boxes at choke points where the opponents might try to engage. Like, if the opposing team tries to come in, you place your boxes really well.
Oh yeah.
You get that AoE fear, or especially if you're a Shaco clone, right, where it can be super hard for the opposing team to engage like the way TTM wants to if the Shaco does a good job at fearing stuff. Vigar Cage is really good zone control to zone off.
I think
if one member goes in and he can cut off the rest of them with a well-placed cage.
I'm honestly expecting a Shaco box to stop in as your shuffle here. Like that could feel really bad.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean too. Is like so GGG, I think, in a really strong lane with a Felios and Thresh where he allows the Felios to farm, play safe. Like a Bard Ezreal honestly isn't going to do much to you and punish you early. So I think.
Oh, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So like in terms of like raw scaling, I think GGG wins out in the bot lane 2v2 scaling wise. I'll fight into Wukong. I imagine it's a pretty boring lane.
I think Wukong can easily bully the Malphite. Easily bully the Malphite.
I don't think he's gonna have a lot of kill pressure on him, unless the Shaco can sneak into lane and force the Malphite to flash pre-level 6.
Yeah.
And then jungle-wise, I'm not an elite jungle mind, so I don't know how well Graves goes and clears compared to a Shaco.
Graves has a lot quicker clear than Shaco does. Like a lot quicker. I think I agree with you. I just think Shaco is always a troll pick. Like, I think for a couple of reasons. One, it's super easy to play around Shaco, especially going into lane, going into the mid game. That's just my personal outlook on it. Two, Shaco doesn't do a whole lot when it comes down to that team fight, especially when you're going into a fight against these particular champions in Azir, in Graves, in Ezreal, in Bard, and in Malphite. As soon as you show, you're pretty much dead, unless you can like ult an important, as long as you can Shaco ult an important CC, like the Bard stun, like the Malphite ult, like the Azir shuffle or whatever, then you can live and maybe do something. But Honestly, I don't know how Scoops plays the champion. He might be good. I have seen some insane Shakos in my day, even in like the top tiers of ranked, and they do definitely cause issues. But I look at
Yeah, well,
Shako.
like solo queue is mountains different from
See, that's what I'm saying.
everybody.
Shako and solo queue is annoying as hell.
Yeah,
Like annoying as hell. If you can communicate as a team against a Shako, he shouldn't really be able to do anything to you. So I don't know. I always kind of look at Shako like a troll pick, but that's my own personal bias against the champion. Um,
yeah.
but
I just wonder, you know, because again, I haven't seen Scoops. I don't know if Scoops is the one that I've played against in Beer League,
um,
but
sorry, one sec. I'll be right back.
yeah, me too. I gotta pick up. I gotta pick up some food. I'm finished making. The one thing we haven't touched, just the mid lane matchup. Azir and Vigar. Obviously, Azir can just use the Sand Soldiers to poke at Vigar, you know, from range. And again, they're not really going to try to fight each other very much until they get to level 6. So I don't expect too much fireworks in that lane either, unless the Vigar can go and maybe, you know, make Azir overconfident somehow and put a cage down to stop him from escaping. But another thing too is that, like, I think Shaco has a lot of really good setup for early ganks in the mid and bot lane with the Vigar cage, and then you know, Thresh with the hooking and the flang, and also even top lane too, because Malphite doesn't have any escape tools post or pre-level 6 to get away from Shanko gank. If Shaco comes in behind, puts a box down, Malphite's gonna have to burn flash or die. And then, you know, on the flip side, Graves doesn't have good setup for ganks where, you know, Malphite, you're not trying to gank top lane for a Malphite. You know, you're probably wasting your time there maybe to help, you know, break a freeze or something. But as Graves, you're trying to play around mid and bot or possibly invade Shaco. I imagine Graves could outduel Shaco if Shaco isn't fighting around boxes. Would be my guess. But yeah, I think Graves can have a really hard time getting good gank setups for some early kills in lane pre-6. So I think this is on GGG to go, and I think, again, I think they're ahead all across the map pre-6. And then after 6, I think TTM has the better team fight overall. But again, that team fight, it's a higher ceiling, but there's so many ways that it can be screwed up just because there's a Bard in the mix. And if they layer it incorrectly, they could completely invalidate all of their ultimates in their team fight. That again, like, the only CC they really have in team fights is going to come from a Bard ult or a Malphite knocking people up. The Azir can obviously scoop people, but that's not hard CC. It's just displacing them. Ezreal, you know, the whole time he's just going to be laying down fire from the back line. Graves as well. And then GGG does have a pretty short range comp too as well. You know, if Aeos doesn't have the most range in the world, unless he has one of those guns where if he tags you, it can hit you from a long ways away. But I've never bothered to learn the names of those guns, and even though the champ has been out for over a year, I still don't know what he does. I just know the red gun with the shuriken is scary. And that's about it. But we hop into game here. We'll go and see if any of the rune choices jump out at us. Malphite in the top lane is going for the Arcane Comments, trying to poke out the Wukong in that matchup. I personally am a pretty firm believer in Grasp, because I think in a melee matchup he can farm some of that stuff against Wukong, but that's dealer's choice. Gray's going for footwork in the jungle here. Shaco
I think that's pretty standard.
Blades.
I think Fleet Footwork is pretty standard. I do agree with the comment thing though. I think Grass is so good into melee matchups that it's kind of like a necessity.
Especially if you're a Malphite where you want to be able to just free farming, the health stats, because he's gonna be itemizing. I mean, obviously armor gives him the most benefit for his passive, but he will probably have to go a little bit of AP just for the Vigar burst. I don't think Shaco would go AP as well, but I could be wrong.
Well, he is opting into skirmishers, so I think he will go AD.
Okay.
And Malphite is starting Flask, so he is looking to poke down the Wukong here, stop him from really.
Because does Wukong have healing built into his kit? I'm not.
He does.
Sure
He does not.
Okay, yeah. So he can potentially poke the Wukong out very well. Also, a lot of respect coming out of GGG's bot lane for this lane. I see, barrier on Reese and then a heal on Vermilion. So they're going and just saying, we're not going to try to kill you in lane. We're just going to try to outscale you and then eventually, win through our other means. But
And Aloe trying to push for level 2 here. He does have the level 2 advantage on Malphite, I believe. So, in terms of like strength, level 2.
yeah, and both junglers starting on the bot sides and pathing. So we'll see where that takes them. And then I don't know how much of my monologue you caught, but I talked about how I think Shaco has a lot of strong gank potential on all the lanes pre-6, and how TTM I think don't really have any good gank setup for the Graves in terms of lanes he can go to, because he has no CC. Most of his lanes don't have any really good CC that's reliable for him to gank, so it'll be interesting to see, I think, how TTM can withstand early pressure and GG can lay down some early pressure and get some early advantages.
That's kind of the thing, is that TTM is also pretty much opting in for the late game here. Scoop's going for a nice... nice shuffle coming out of Reese.
Really good job, yeah. And that shuffle getting out of that. I wouldn't be surprised if Shaco got like both early crabs too, because I think his lanes have all the pressure. Yeah, I think it is on GGG to go and press this early game advantage.
Yeah. I think in terms of the top side, it looks like there will be a scuffle over the crab here. I think 3v3, I think GGG definitely have the stronger 3v3.
Yeah. Vigar, I think, has the lane push, so he should be able to roam first, and I think Wukong can roam because he has his lane pushed in too, so they might be able to kill the Graves because he doesn't have smite. Oh, he just had a smite, but he's
he does. Oh my god, he does dash
both
out.
Those Vigar cages are like half a second away from being able to probably at least guarantee flashes blown from both the Azir and the Graves there.
And it looks like both junglers are heading towards the bot side here, but Solf is already in position. So is Verm, though.
Yeah, and then it looks like early cheater recall from the Aphelios too went back and got boots and a short sword. Yeah,
because you do max lethality second now. So I wonder if Reese will try to go into the Eclipse lethality build. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty good.
Also, is it common for Ezreal to start tier first item?
In a really passive lane. I wouldn't have done it against a Thresh Aphelios, but in like a super passive lane, yeah.
Okay, I just saw that. I was like, I wasn't sure. Again, I'm not an AD carry, so I don't know what's standard in terms of itemization.
Yeah, and the thing about starting tier is that you can do an early recall and get your Sheen at 700 gold, which is a huge power spike for Ezreal. So it has its benefits and it has its downsides. So like if he gets hooked, he's pretty much dead. Like look how much damage. Oh, and did that hook land? No, it didn't. Okay. And that's the thing. Look at how chunked he got just from Aphelios damage. That's kind of the downside to starting a tier over a Dorn's Blade.
Yeah. So then I'm guessing I'd like to see Scoobs go on path towards this bot site and then see if they can go and at least get some good wards around this Drake, and then if they go and the timing's right in the next minute or two, go and start it too, because I think when you have early game priority, you should be taking objectives and stacking Drakes.
I would agree. And it is an infernal drag, which doesn't do a lot in the early game, but scaling into the late game, it definitely gives you some
it's really
stuff.
important, yeah.
Yeah, even
It's kinda
that.
good. I like that deep ward by that that Azir there in between Raptors and just above red. That's a really good way to spot the Shaco.
It looks like Sleep A will just be able to walk out with that Q movement speed. And it did a lot of damage. Looks like he is maxing it.
Yeah, and Aphelios being left by himself too down here.
Yeah, Verm decided to go back. Cade trying to abuse him the best he can. And instead of getting a Sheen, Ezreal did opt into the Phage. Ooh. Good damage coming out. Oh my god, Reese. Oh no, that nice barrier. Oh, the Q just misses. Oh, it looks like they are looking for the kill here. Nanya is here. He is 6.
Flash. Yep, he does flash. Oh, he's gonna kill the Graves.
Oh no, the turret shot already went through. Solf is taking a lot of damage. He has to flash out.
Lygar's gonna ult him.
Nicely done.
Well.
Nice roam coming out, Trooper there.
Yeah, I mean, good job on TTM's bot lane to force, that Aphelios and then the Thresh, but I think they overcommitted a little bit and didn't juggle that tower aggro correctly. Also, he's gonna have to E out. I don't know if it's on.
Oh my god, nicely done by Cade to get that kill there.
Kills him and hits him with the BMO, the little B emote.
And I'm kind of surprised that Nunya decided not to ult the Thresh, so they didn't have to hard commit under turret for that. It looks like he is going now.
Saved it for that.
Nice E coming out Cade as well to dodge.
There it goes. So, ETM doing a really good job at collapsing on that bot lane advantage they got and snowballing a little bit. So
It was a nice double roam from Nunya and Austin to try and tower dive. Ooh, nicely done by Sleep A.
Fight with the solo bolo.
Wukong did try to clone out of the ult, but was not able to make it a safe enough distance. Nice.
Believe it or not, rocks fly at you really fast.
Oh yeah. It's a really hard ult to react to unless it's at full range. So
yeah, but you feel like a god if you manage to like dash or flash away from it when it comes.
Oh yeah.
So a slight 1k gold lead coming in here for TTM early on. So I think they're doing a really good job with a comp that in my opinion shouldn't be able to go and execute super well early game. We see a roam from the Thresh mid lane.
Nice side step coming out of Nunya there.
Good shuffle. But Shaco is soloing the Drake. And I think he is going to get away with this. I don't believe that TTM has any vision on this. Because I think he came in from the back side of the pit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they do have the.
I mean, Bard's gonna come see
Bard
it,
is here.
He can't stop this.
No.
Because Graves is top side of the map, so. And Wukong at the same time on the far side of the map is actually doing the Rift Herald by himself, so they're looking to go and get both objectives on both sides of the map here, and not really losing much because I don't see the lanes being pushed really hard in the top side by the Malphite, so the Wukong shouldn't miss too much CS.
Yeah, he really no. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it looks like Sleepa he doesn't have the right minions for a freeze here. Yeah, we'll actually slowly push over to Wukong. So.
Oh wow, that's an interesting angle for that.
Ooh.
Come in. Yeah, he needs to get punished for that.
He does not. It looks like Scoots will try to queue over the wall here. Ooh, nice flash coming out, Nunya.
Yeah. Again, like, he got punished for the way he decided to go and dash in there, where he has to blow a flash now.
And Cade building super defensively, going into the plated steel caps. Interesting item rushes coming out of Cade here, but it has proven worthy. Like he got the kill onto the Vygar, he got the kill onto the.
Yeah, he could be going for like the more like like a tankier.
Like a tank, yeah.
You're just trying to go and survive some initial burst.
Ooh, it does have the flash.
Though, for his aggressive positioning.
Was a nice reactionary flash though. Don't try and see if you can dodge it, because if you don't and you get hit, you're dead. So good damage coming out of Self here. He's not 6 yet though, so you can't set up this gank.
So, and that's my point too. Like look at that. Like Graves walks down, try to gank, and Bard didn't have 6, so Thresh just Lantern gets the Aphelios out, and Graves is now wasted his time. I mean, maybe not wasting because he's helping his bot lane safely push, but you're never gonna get a kill out of that.
Ooh, nice hook coming out of Verm.
Yep.
And I don't know if Vern got his flay off there or not, but maybe the Bard ult stopped that. So if it did, good Bard ult.
Yeah.
And Cade being super aggressive on this Ezreal this game.
Yeah. So we're just about the 11-minute mark, and we are seeing. Oh, here comes the bot lane gank, but Shaco and Vigar are here too. This is going to be a 4v4. Hook lands on Bard. He doesn't have ult. He can't shut off the tower. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that's an overkill for TTM. They're going to lose, I think, all of their members.
Pretty much. This might just be 3 going down on the side of TTM.
Yeah,
It will be.
Shaco gets the shutdown. Graves.
And Shaco looking for more. Wukong will be here in 1 second. He has decided to run up through mid lane instead of going.
I think he has flash coming up really soon, though. He might be able to flash out if it gets off on cooldown.
Nope.
He goes down.
I think it was a mistake to try and route the mid lane there.
Yeah. Like, you see there, so they commit to that dive bot lane. You use the Bard ult defensively to stop your Ezreal from possibly dying, and so you can't go and dive that tower and shut it off with the Bard ult. So I think that was them just overcommitting when they didn't have abilities up they needed to for that. Also, I think the TP is wasted because the tower's still going down even though you can to it.
Okay, looking for the... Oh, nice hook coming out of Verm. Okay, just Arcane shifts out.
Yeah. Look at that gold swing now. We went from them being 1,500 down to now they're almost 2,000 gold up.
All off a failed dive.
Yeah, and Wukong, because I mean the shutdown went on to the Shaco that killed the Azir. Malphite is getting lots of turret plays in the top lane. I mean Wukong, is not too far behind though.
Scoobs is here. They're looking for a kill on the sleep out here. He might have to ult out. He will. Yeah. I don't know if he needed to flash after that.
Well,
but
yeah, that's a little much. Maybe he thought he was going to get followed by the Shaco's backstab ability. But no, that doesn't follow. Never mind. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, he had already used his 2-ship blade. So
yeah, I think a little bit too much caution there on the Malphite, but he at least did it in the correct order where you ult first, so you save your flash. But flash just in case. Maybe he thought that one of the Wukong or the Shaco was gonna flash after him, but I think you can reaction to that.
Yeah.
So we look at items too. We already see the Vigar does already have Luden's Echo. The Azir already has his Leandries. Only 2 mythics across the board completed so far.
Shaco probably has the gold for his. Yeah. Maybe a little bit off of the Eclipse, which I would assume he's going into, or he's going into Dustblade, but he'll be able to finish that up pretty soon here.
He's gonna die for that plate.
Huh?
Oh, he has to ult defensively. He has the second ult, but
ooh, one more Q will do it. No, it does not. Oh, sorry.
Yep. Look at it, like he went and got the first tower plate when there was like 30 seconds left, and he has to blow flash and ultimate for that. Like that's 2 huge cooldowns for what 80 gold.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, TTM starting Drake.
Ooh, nice thresh hook onto the Azir there. He does stream a shuffle. Oh, not enough damage to take down the...
Azir's gonna get bought by the Shaco here. Yep, he's down.
Just lacking just a slight amount of damage onto the Phelios there.
Yeah. We also saw like Vigar putting that cage in that choke point was such a good zoning tool where the rest of the team couldn't follow up on the Azir shuffle. Already getting hooked. Thresh takes it over. Immediately has to he didn't have
ooh, Scoob's looking for more here. They did see him use his Q, so
yeah, super good job by GGG getting 2 Drakes. It will be an Ocean Soul map. Wukong,
which is pretty big for the side of TTM, I think.
Yeah, Wukong TP'd in down here. I think he came in after the fight was already over too.
Ooh, long range W coming out, Trooper. Scoob's picking up the kill.
Yeah. Also, they might be able to dive this Ezreal. Thresh is back in. They're not gonna dive. Like meanwhile, while all this is happening, that Malphite was top lane pushing a whole wave. Gets the turret down too. So Malphite is definitely ahead on gold over the Wukong by almost 1,000 at this point. Ash Actually, the Malphite's the richest person in the game. Actually, sorry, no, the Shaco's just ahead of him by a couple hundred gold, but the Malphite's the second richest.
Oh yeah, he does have a pretty significant gold lead over his laner there in the 700.
And that's because the Wukong a couple times has, roamed and lost out on waves.
Getting his team at
going back in opportune times. Oh, I think Ezreal's gonna get tagged by the ultimate. Takes 2 tower shots. Just forcing him off the wave, and Aphelios is down here. It's just him and Ezreal. He wins that 1v1.
Oh yeah.
Gonna guarantee he gets this turtle by himself.
Ulting for poke, as Reese would like to say.
Yeah.
We do got a fight going on in top lane here. It looks like it will not lead to anything.
Yeah. I think we're at the point where, like, Malphite. Oh. Malphite definitely wins the 1v1 against the Wukong now. I think Wukong needs to get another item besides Divine Center.
Ooh. Big catch on the Nunya there. Ooh.
Down.
Oh, he missed it.
Yeah.
They could turn this into more. It looks like Sulf is looking for it. Ooh, Scobes goes into the back line trying to kill the Austin. Oh, Austin goes down.
Yeah.
And Malphite gets the shutdown onto the Shaco, but
look how slippery Shaco is. Like, they don't have any hard CC for him even when he pops up, right? And also Vigard getting a triple kill on that is super bad because he's now super duper accelerator. I think DTM is really happy he doesn't have a dark steel or a Magi's, because that'd be really scary if he had that, prior to getting that triple kill there. Maybe when he goes back to shop, he might go for one. I'd be interested to see if he goes for that or not.
I mean, to spend the 400 gold to get one is pretty. It works out if you're like gonna get the stacks on it, Like, it's probably the most cost efficient.
Harold's got some really good moves. Trying to backside there. Nearly getting a Vermilion down there.
Yeah, but Darksteel is probably the most cost efficient item in the game if you can get the stacks on it.
Yeah, and the way the game's going to, I think the Vigard can definitely go and invest at 400 and possibly, snowball himself that much further.
He's opting into not doing it though. It looks like he is trying to finish up his Seraphs as quickly as possible.
So, we got Drag coming up in, a minute 20. Almost we're at the 18-minute mark. I like to see them go and use this Herald, either mid or bot side when this dragon comes up, just to go and guarantee that they get it. Preferably bot turret is technically the more gold efficient one, because tier 2 turrets in the bot and the top lanes give you more gold than the mid lane one. But mid obviously has more significance breaking that open because you can push vision into the. Yeah,
it creates a lot of pressure. Holy crap! Scoop's doing so much damage. Holy.
Yeah, AD Shaco against a Azir who has 0 armor items.
He need ult sooner.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he was feared at all or not in that. Maybe that's why he couldn't ult away, but. Oh, he didn't have ult. Ult was on cooldown.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Also, like, think how scary this Aphelios. I've seen him do nothing but, like, be bot lane by himself for the last couple of minutes. And that means he's soaking up solo gold, solo experience. All the while, the rest of his team's getting ahead. Look at this Shaco just flirting around. Have a 5v4.
Yeah, Aphelios has about 1,000 gold on the Ezreal.
Shaco definitely is found here. He's gonna die for this.
Yeah, more than likely. Not before he takes down kill on the Austin. Nope, not gonna get it. Nicely done by TTM.
Kind of a shame. I think they had a 5v4 and like the Shaco was behind. I think they should have walked up and tried to pinch the opposing team. Bard ult going wide. Failures does have flash.
Ooh, the Q does clip. Nicely done. Yeah. And if you look at the gold here, TTM is not that far down. Only about 3k. Which, watching the game, you'd think it would be more than that, with how dominant that GGG's looked in this game so far. So,
yeah. A lot of that does come from, I think, the top lane, where like the Malphite has that 1,200 gold lead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Getting the plate and the turrets, and the Wukong getting next to nothing in terms of that lane matchup.
And Aphelios is opting into the shield bow. Trying to outlive the burst that's inevitably going to come from the Malphite and Azir.
Yeah. Does Aphelios ever go like Gale Force at all?
I wouldn't go Gale Force. It's pretty much always Kraken Slayer or Shield Bow.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
like, it'd be nice as an Aphelios to maybe have like a dash to get away from like the edge of an Azir wall or a Bard ult. Because like if you don't have flash down, the Thresh needs to have like a really quick Lantern Finger.
Scoops and Aloe looking for the kill here. Do they have the damage to take down?
Though. He's gonna be able to just ult away. Flashing first.
Ooh, and the Ezreal comes out. Ooh, nicely done. Good Ezreal at the time. That was from the bot lane too.
Yeah, that was super. That was super well placed where the Malphite ult held him in place.
Oh yeah, and Solf is here. The Q does not land though.
Shield bow popped.
Oh, Reese is just gonna 1v2 here.
Yeah.
Bard
I
used.
thought the Aphelios was in trouble, but he 1v2'd and actually blows both sums from the Ezreal and the Bard and still lives and didn't have to blow any sums in return. Like that's how far ahead this Aphelios is, where Bard and Ezreal try to 1v2 him and he just ults, pops the shield bow and says, "Come at me, bro."
Bard also like missed his one damaging ability.
Yeah.
So if that would have landed, it probably would have been a little bit different.
Yep. And Herald popped mid, but I'm wondering if it was about to time out. Probably was the case because this isn't going to get a charge off at all.
Unless they force it down, but I don't think they're going to be able to. Oh, Austin. Oh, nice Bard ult.
Yeah,
wow, that was huge. Very nicely done by Solf. And it is a 5-stack in the mid lane for TTM here. Dragon not up for another 3 minutes, so it looks like they might just try to push this turret down.
On the Bard.
Ooh, Bard does go down.
Just assassinates this Bard.
Yeah, that is one strong Shaco. Probably has his collector finished up now if he heads back.
Can Shaco's clone grab Thresh Lantern?
I don't think so.
I just let the Thresh throw it out, maybe just to try to fool TTM into if that was a clone or not.
Maybe, maybe Verm was also confused.
Yeah. So Crypt is 4. They're not gonna be able to take this turret, but
yeah, that Aphelios clear is so good.
yeah. I like GGG. They get the pick on the Bard. They can't. There's no global objectives for them to reasonably get up. So send your Wukong bot, get him caught up because he's definitely behind on CS. Vigar can go clear up top wave. You can shove your waves and then get a reset and go back.
Yeah, I would fully expect Cade to go into like the Frozen Heart build this game, just to staunch that assassination attempt from Scoops. That's eventually gonna happen.
Yeah.
God, I miss Frozen Mallet, dude. I want Frozen Mallet back.
Yeah, I used to go Frozen Mallet Teemo back in the day. Also.
Man, it's so hard to react to that. And Azir doesn't have his Seekers. He's opting into a Void Scepter here.
Yep.
Which is interesting because there's no MR on the side of GGG outside of Wukong's Merc Treads.
Yeah. But also, like, so when you get a pick like this, ooh, he's still going for the kill pressure. He's gonna die for this, I think.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Also, like, getting that kill pressure in the Azir, you don't really have a great. You do have a good Baron take at the Aphelios there, but you kind of just go and now you're supposed to, go and move up your vision. Gotta go into still jungle camps.
Wow, half healthing the tank Malphite.
Yeah, well, he's full armor.
That's true.
Not a single MR item there.
Oh, he has 30 MR on his Frostfire.
Vigar being in this game, I think, is gonna force that Malphite to stop stacking armor at some point.
Yeah. He'll have to, or else
yet.
he's just gonna get one shot eventually.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much health you have, a Vigar will do more damage.
Yeah. Yeah. This Malphite, I think, is not scared of anybody besides that Vigar in terms of what his itemization is. He's finished the gauntlet and is actually going for Warden's Mail, so I'm guessing it's going to be a Randuin's for his third item. I don't think Frozen Heart would be the right choice.
No, I don't. I think Randuin's would be better as well.
Yeah, because Shaco's backstab crits, I think, if you're behind somebody, right?
Yeah. It crits for like 130% or something like that.
Yeah, also, Drake is up. Malphite's top lane does have TP. Art ult to delay. Malphite is TPing in. Forces the flash out of the Graves because the Vigar.
Ooh. Oh no. He went over a little too soon. The Vigar cage was still up.
Oh, that's not the claw card. That's the actual Shaco.
Nicely done by GGG. Cade is shoving in the mid wave.
Yeah, I think this is where I'd like to see them go to Baron now. It's 3v5. Jungler is dead. Opposing team, you do have to worry about possibly getting womboed really hard. It looks like they're just gonna opt to push. So that's fine. I'm a little worried about your Shaco being in the side lane by himself.
Not if he just kills the Azir here.
He is, yeah. He's probably gonna do it again. Oh, Walt does not catch.
Almost. That is so much damage coming out of that Shaco right now.
Yeah, but he's forcing that Azir ult to be down, so I'm guessing the cooldown on that is at least like a minute and a half at this point. So if they go and force a team, oh, he's gonna die. Oh, the Vigar cage.
And Sulf was there. He did spot him. I'm surprised he didn't take his portal over to try and finish him off.
Yeah, well, maybe they're a little, because I mean, they don't have any vision on that side of the river, so if he portals in, you don't know what you're walking into.
That's true, but that is... Oh, I guess he doesn't have that large of a shutdown.
So third Drake over, one more, we'll get the Ocean Soul. We're just crossing the 27-minute mark here. Roughly 5.5, no, just 5,000 gold here. Again, a lot of it. This Vigar is super far ahead, almost 2k over his counterpart. Shaco almost 1,500. Wukong's still behind the Malphite, but is catching up. And then Nephelios also 1,000 gold. So all of your individual laners, besides your Wukong, are up against their counterparts. And then, of course, the added gold value you get from 3 different Drakes you have.
And Cade did opt in to go into Sorelda's over the Manamune as a second item. I think that's pretty smart. The tier is always there. You can always just upgrade it when you have the gold, but getting that utility off Sorelda's is pretty big. But TTM has to stop getting caught.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little bit close to the point where TTM can now go and not be super afraid of the Shaco. I think Vigar is one they're the most scared of in terms of who can like go and catch you out and really blow you up. But you're seeing where... Go ahead.
Yeah, and that was one of my arguments about Shaco, is that Shaco does fall off. Going into the late game, Shaco can still one-shot you, but only if you give him the opportunity to. Like, he falls off so hard. So hard. And if TTM can last it out, I think they scale harder than GGD do. Yeah. With the Azir, with the Ezreal.
Looking for the Graves here.
Ooh, the Serene Shuffle. Reese flashes out. Oh, Cade gets clipped. And Malphite is here. Ooh. Reese is still alive, though. He will go down. That is a shutdown over to Sleep Bay. Wow. Yeah. GGG. That was a really nice Q coming out of Reese to land on the Ezreal there as well.
Yeah, really good flash to get away. And they had this set up for the Malphite, but the Malphite only managed to tag 2 because Reese did get out of there before he eventually died. But we're going to take down mid-turret. Again, I think this is smart. I think they'd have a hard time taking Baron without their DPS. You can go and just probably get this mid-tower and the inhibitor before the rest of the team is back up. But Ezreal and Bard are back up at 10. I don't know. I think they are just they're gonna back off.
They could have probably gotten that inhib, but
again, like, there's nothing wrong with being safe.
Yeah.
And not wanting to go and tilt the game back to your opponents.
Take the small victories, you know.
Yeah. Again, it is an opportunity cost, because if you're giving that up, if your opponents do, I believe, outscale you, maybe you didn't take the opportunity that was afforded to you. So we'll see what ends up happening here. But again, another one fight for GTG, going 4-for-1 in their favor. But again, like, Reese had to blow both sums to get away, and he died in the end anyway, the only casualty. So in another team fight, oh, he's just gonna blow up the Bard.
His Self is here. Austin is here as well, though.
Oh, but he's gonna die for it.
They did see him go into the bush. He's gonna die. 700 gold shutdown going over to Austin, but he will get taken down by the Vigar right afterwards. Vigar going ham. I mean, Malphite going ham.
Yeah, Malphite's never gonna kill you.
Shreeman Shuffle does Reese into... Oh my god, that Viger does so much damage.
Yeah, again,
Can
like,
Cade take this guy down? No. Oh my god. But the Vigar ult just comes out and takes him out.
Always finish it. He had ult still after that, all that. Oh my goodness. That will be Ocean Drake. The Junkers to steal it. Malphite ult is down. Bard ult is still up. So like, they can go for like a really cheeky... It is over. Cage goes down. Double Cage goes down. Locks on top of Cage.
That's Ocean Soul over. Yeah, Ocean Soul over to side GG. The gold lead at about 7.5 gold, or 7.5k.
Yeah. So like, even though Shaco does have, you know, he does.
Oh
off
wait.
Hard, like, look at how TTMs had to itemize. Where, okay, like Shaco was blowing you up early game, so they have to itemize and index heavily into armor to survive the burst. But since they're indexing heavily into armor, it means the Vigar is getting so much more value out of going pure AP, not having to go for any penetration.
Yeah.
He's like, well, they're all building armor because they're so afraid of the Shaco. And that's dragging down our Baron. So even though the Shaco does fall off, him going and having that early game pressure is actually benefiting this Vigar's mid to late game that much more.
Yeah, and that's the last thing you want a Vigar doing is just being able to build all the damage items in the game and heavily scale to the point where one single W will take you completely out of a fight.
He's not having to go for a Magic Pen until right now because he's just picked up the Blighted Jewel in the inventory, which will go into the Void stat, but that's his 4th item. Everything before that has been pure AP. Shaco's gonna bop this. Ezreal, who's gonna get away. Oh, never mind. I'm totally wrong on that. He's just gonna get blown up. Bard's gonna portal out. Yeah, I mean, like, Shaco's just constantly threatening anybody who walks up in lane by themselves in mispositions.
That's kind of
But I think he's gonna get met with an angry Shaco.
The Stream Shuffle does
Shaco
come
just
out.
says, I don't care about your wall.
He's done it one too many times.
Yeah. So. Inhibitor down. Kong pushing through from the top lane. I don't think they can.
Oh my god! That one!
Play into the ult.
And Sleepy trying to one.
Wanting the Malphite. He's probably gonna die for this. Does pop the barrier. Does pop the.
Oh.
The top.
That's cheating.
But does that really matter if your base is in shambles?
Yeah. I just wanted to see the 1v1.
Yeah, Shaco's got that bot lane. I think the Aphelios might have won that if the Ezreal ult didn't come over the top.
Oh yeah.
This Vigar, he's like zoning 2 people off by himself.
Oh, taking a lot of damage now though. The Ezreal's.
He does have Ocean, so he's just gonna revive, pulls him up.
And this will be the game. Scoobs chasing out the Austin.
AoE double stun. Thresh with the hook to pick up the kill.
Now they're just padding the stats, not even trying
Thresh
to.
had a killing spree.
So a clean 2-0 sweep coming out of GGG over to TTM.
Yeah. You know, the game was a little bit closer, but again, you saw where TTM had a slight early game lead, but I think, you know, their downfall a little bit was, again, that
botched dive. Yeah.
The first successful dive, double dipped their hand in the cookie jar and got punished because they did not have the Bard ult to shut down power for that dive. And I think that's one where Vigar got a triple kill, which you never want to see on, you know, a champ like Vigar who's like a late game scaler. Like anytime you see like a Vigar or a Ryze or a Vayne, you don't want to give a champ that really wants to scale super hard some early kills to really get them going.
Yeah, that honestly does always kind of feel bad, because there's really nothing you can do about it at that point. Like the Vigar's just too far ahead. There's really no way to deal with him. Which always just feels bad in and of itself when this champion is just so far ahead that there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. I like the call out I had too where the Shaco created so much chaos early game. Anytime like the Azir was out by himself, normally a champion thinking, oh, I can get away from stuff, but you know, the Shaco with the slow and being able to blink over the wall, it's super hard as an Azir to wall that correctly, and get the Shaco to get off of you, but he got, you know, killed multiple times. Yeah, the Shaco caused a lot of chaos that game. A couple times did get caught being a little bit too greedy. But overall, like I said too, like the Shaco being as much of an assassination threat as he was, allowed the Vigard to become that much more valuable and efficient with his damage and his build too, because everyone was so scared of the Shaco early to mid game.
Yeah, and Vigard did 5,000 more damage than anybody else in the game. Oh wait, no, he didn't. Shaco almost beat him in damage actually. Wow, that damage is actually kind of nuts.
Yeah, like again, like I feel bad for that Graves that game too, because again, you know, Graves can never really gank a lane and snowball a lane because there's poor CC setup. Team fights, they had one or two times where their wombo went off the way it did, but I think by the time the wombo was executed correctly, they were kind of far behind.
It was it was a little too late at that point.
Yeah. I like the idea. I think the only thing I'd change about their draft would actually be the Graves, because I think you already have enough damage from the Azir and the Ezreal. And again, like you're trying to go for a wombo, so I think you go and have the Graves be a third piece to set up the wombo, or another front line, or a good CC thing to help make sure that the Azir and the Ezreal are safe. I gotta look at the... Yeah, and draft order too, they picked the Graves really early, so I guess they didn't really know what they were going against. But if you're gonna pick, you know, Azir and Ezreal, I think you needed one more frontline piece or a CC bot to go and
having having someone outside of Bard like Leona, Galio, someone that can set up these fights in a more efficient way, like a more guaranteed way.
Yeah. So maybe somebody else instead of the Bard. But again, like Bard understood as part of the wombo, like setting up the Azir in the Malphite. But again, like that's so much of like a Christmas present scenario where
everything falls in line perfectly.
Like let you do that for that to work out the way you want it.
Yeah, I think I know Austin is a huge fan of the Graves and he plays them a lot, which is probably why they prioritized him over other junglers that could probably do some stuff. But I think the Bard initially was a good pick. I myself am a bigger fan of like more initiate supports, like hands down, like level 3, let's go, let's fight. Like I don't want to play this passive crap. Like I want to fight, sort of thing. And I think having, like you said, the Christmas present scenario where everything is lined up so perfectly, that happens maybe once in a game, and that just never really played to fruition for them. So maybe this team count looks solid. But if you maybe switched out the Bard for someone like a Nautilus, someone like a Galio, Leona, something like that, some hard initiate lockdown that is pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm actually fine with the Bard, because like pairing a Bard with an Ezreal totally makes sense in that like an Ezreal is totally fine being in a lane by himself because he's pretty safe farming by himself. Bard is a champ that does want to roam. Like his kit almost demands that you roam with him. I just think they needed better. If you're gonna draft the Graves, then yeah, you can't do the Bard. You have to have, I think, some CC setup. But if you're gonna draft Bard and commit to that, then I think your Graves has to be a different pick.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they picked the Graves first, you know. So picking something that has a lot more lockdown than the Bard does, who essentially is only CC unless you can like hit it, is his ultimate. So if you're gonna draft the Graves, who has no CCs of his own, needs that CC set up in order to get into the lane and get his gank off, drafting the Bard was definitely a mistake. But unfortunately, I don't have time to talk to the captains this time. I actually have to go. Thanks for casting the second game, Crimson.
Yeah, no problem, man. I've done many a solo cast in my day, and while they are sometimes fun, doing them over and over again gets a little bit draining. It's always nice to have another voice to bounce thoughts off of.
I don't really mind it, but I do appreciate your commentary as well.
You're stronger willed than I am then.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you, Crimson. I'll talk to you guys later.